next boar here is next up. He's a litter mate to Ultimatum, who we just previously videoed. Again, next intention on a pony up sow, and again, just that sow, that pony up sow is an amazing individual. Again, we introduced him last year along with Ultimatum, and we have started to see some of those hogs start to surface here lately, and very, very encouraged by what we're seeing there. We won Wayne County with one that the Logue family had in Indiana there last week. There's one in Colorado that was raised by Brandon Ogle out of a bred sow from us that has done some winning here recently. They're starting to surface here quite a bit. I know Reserve Cross Gilt at Allen County, Indiana was the next up last week. So out the gate here, hogs are starting to surface. Feedability in these hogs is excellent. This hog will give them a very neat, sharp kind of show barrel look. Yet those hogs have got real good spread in their upper rib cage, and shape is excellent. Squareness of feet and legs is good. This hog has got a very, very high ceiling of potential of what he can accomplish. Maybe in terms of compared to Ultimatum, maybe a little farther out there in terms of just some of that extra sharpness. But with that, you probably need to take him to those sows, or maybe just a nickel, just stouter in their structure yet than what Ultimatum does. So that's the difference between the two. I think this boar here probably is more extreme in terms of his shape of his head and neck and the shape of his blade and chest. He's more extreme in those places. And can do some of that, but you need to take those sows that have got some of that extra stoutness of skull and need to be cleaned up in their face and neck, and that's where his place is for being kind of a changer to make them sharper and more attractive as show bearers and giving them more shape. Feet and legs and pattern is going to be very similar across the board for him and Ultimatum. The difference between the two is probably going to be in feature and sharpness.
Well, we had so many good conversations when we got those two boars in, because they were so different, honestly, phenotypically, and they still present that way even today, and it led to such great conversation to which one was going to do what, and how we were going to be able to possibly do a little bit of unique stuff and take some back to each other, and honestly, we've been blessed that it's kind of played out that way in terms of the type and kind we thought they would make. Mike already said it. This one's elevated. He's stretched out of his front end. Great. The front 2/3 of this one's body is truly unique. But at the same time, maybe just a notch longer body than his brother is, but still makes him just as stout, just as heavy boned. Maybe just a notch greener right out of the gate comparatively to Ultimatum, and for the right sows, that's absolutely okay. So what we've been able to do is actually cover a multitude of different type of sows with both of these boars, and kind of what we're seeing is that it is working, and that we maybe have even yet to tap into the ultimate ceiling, as Mike alluded to, with what these two boars can do. So still, it's always exciting to be able to be equally as high or higher on a pair of high-profile boars the year after you've bought them. I think, and even in the general public, these boars are just as popular now as they were then, and we're certainly excited about that. So we'll let Steve talk about this one a little bit as well.
Yeah, next up is just one of those boars. When Mike got Ultimatum and next up in, I was like, wow. And then I got to see him last year, then now seeing him again, it's just so impressive. And next up, I thought Far Sow Herd could kind of work with the muscle we have, so we kind of rolled him a little bit, and that first litter has just been unbelievable this summer. So we're looking good, and I'm really excited to get those gilts back in and bring them over to McCoy's and see what kind of damage we can do with them.
Yeah, Matt and Steve both made a good point there just in terms of what these boars do siring. They actually, as they've matured, sire very true in their differences from each other. You study the differences between the two of them as mature boars, that is where the differences are and where they sire. But both of them have equal value, just in different places on different sows.